Why was this institution turned down by the department?
The department is talking about quite a number of processes that have been flouted by this particular institution. For example, they're talking about the issue of the registration of the candidates. But it's a very small school. I mean, it's about 10 pupils, and 2 of them are only doing grade 12. But also what the department has subsequently done, they've taken the 2 to certain areas that are designated as examination centers. So it's quite bizarre how it's also set up. It's right in the residential area. But also, as you just walk around in Centurion, they also have the South African flag hoisted up. So you can easily think that, you know, everything is in compliance, but only to find that they have flouted all these regulations.
So it's only for students writing matric, is that correct?
Well, you have quite a number of from grade 8 right up until grade 12. And we know that they've been running for the past 5 years. So also from the side of the department, they said one of the challenges with such a school is that it's easy for anyone to easily misunderstood and be like, it's like a homeschooling situation as opposed to a normal school. So that has been a challenge why they haven't been able to crack down some of these institutions. But also they've put out a word of caution to parents to make sure that for you to register a child, you should really just verify, triple check, make sure that the institution is meeting some of the standards that are required.
I'm interested, I mean, what is the profile of the student population there? Where are they drawn from?
Well, it's largely, mostly some of the students, they are living around the area, but we try to get an opportunity to speak to some of the pupils around, like off camera, because obviously with all sorts of rules, you can't really talk to a child without a parental permission. But some of them, they were saying, I mean, it's a normal school. But then the department is saying, look, we're going to court, because there was a bit of drama when we got into the school, trying to speak to somebody who purportedly presented herself as a principal. So she was having none of it. Even the gates were locked. The department officials, they had to go and actually secure a search warrant to be able to access the property. So it was a very bizarre situation that we encountered.
Do we know who the owners of this school are, and what have they got to say for themselves?
That's something we've been trying to do for just in terms of the owner of the property, if they are genuinely running this particular school. Somebody that we had, that we tried numerous times to speak to, is the actual person who identified herself as the principal, but she was not really eager or very keen to talk much. So in spite of so many efforts of trying to approach her, she was not really keen to talk. But from the side of the department, they are going to court now to get a court order which will actually stop the operation of this particular school.
Now, you have spoken about, the need for parents to make sure that, they first check a school before they can enroll their children. But what happens to, I mean, you're saying that there are children who've been there for what? The past 4 years now. So what happens to them and their qualifications, and do their parents have any form of recourse?
Well, at this point in time, it's not clear as to what's going to be the recourse, but what the department has also spoken about, they've said all the parents who are affected can approach their district office in Tshwane, and then all the pupils will be placed in the public schools. But now the issue is, we know some of these schools, I mean, when you look at the fees, generally, by and large, it's always very quite exorbitant amount that is charged. So it's not really clear as to will they be refunded, what's going to be the process, especially because the school is adamant that they have everything in order. But then on the other hand, you're having the department saying, look, you are non-compliant, so you cannot continue rendering such a particular service. So it's a rigorous process. For you to actually have a school, you have to adhere to a number of regulations to protect the quality of the certificate, especially for grade 12 pupils.
Look, we've run out of time, but quickly, Just how widespread is this problem?
Well, that's a question I really asked the department. So they say, I mean, it's very isolated incidents, but they always make sure that the inspectors actually go and make sure that if there is a certain school, to avoid an incident of fly-by-night schools like the one that we've had in this particular incident. But it also speaks to their mechanisms and monitoring mechanisms. So it doesn't really look like it's sufficient, or it really goes very deep in making sure that they root out or get to the bottom of this.